You are now tuned in to the Actual Factualz.
Just a biggie.
And welcome back to the Actual Factualz. I am your co-host. They call me Josh Moody. It is the handsome one, the dancing one, the prancing one, the shancing one. You gotta say it twice. It's always better when you say it twice.
I call him the special one, as y'all can see, he's special. Anyway, I'm your other co-host. My name is Odeseye. Episode 19, Actual Factualz VlogCast. We're back, and we have a special guest. Her name is Pariis. Pariis, why don't you tell me about yourself?
Hi, my name is Pariis Garcia. I grew up in Staten Island, New York.
Cheer.
Another Staten Island native.
Cheer. We out here.
I have 3 younger sisters, 2 loving parents. I run track and field for the Puerto Rico national team, and I substitute teach, amongst other things. I don't know what to bring up now.
All right.
Sound a little mini entrepreneur.
I'm telling you, check out. So thank you, Pariis, for coming and joining the show.
Thanks for having me.
Staten Island native, as you heard. So tell the people a little bit about your journey. As you guys know, we always tend to bring athletes on here, outside of athletes as well, creative people who come on here as well. But we like to create this platform for athletes to get a chance to show a different side and speak about other things that, that transition and even though a lot of our foundation come from sports, there's always a life outside of each of our sports and stuff that we do. So talk a little about your journey. Tell the people where you started, where you ended up, and how you ended up running pro track.
Okay, cool. So, grew up in Staten Island. I went to Notre Dame Academy in Staten Island. Growing up, both of my parents ran track and field. They ran that in college. So I did track ever since I was younger, amongst other sports. But going into high school, I kind of decided to focus on track and field. Thankfully, it was never something I was pressured by my parents to do. It was kind of just something fun for me and my family that we all had in common. And in high school, I was never like top in the state or top in the city, but like I kind of held my ground, I guess, type thing. So I was good enough to get a scholarship to university, which is where I started attending St. John's University.
Nice.
And then from there, had a rough freshman year and then got better sophomore year. And then going into my junior year is when I decided to take track and field more seriously. And then from then, that's kind of the year where I won conference championships. And then that's the year that Puerto Rico reached out to me and told me that they wanted me to represent them that summer at the
What was that experience like? Was that like a dream come true type of thing? Was that a goal, or was that just like, hell, oh wow, I can't believe this is coming my way. I'm definitely on that team Puerto Rico, the Olympics, we out. like it's a no-brainer type. So how was that?
So it was very emotional, I would say. So it was never running track and field professionally post-collegiate. It was never something I thought of or dreamt about doing going into university and even in high school. Like I was good, but I was never like the best. So it wasn't something I ever thought about. But when they did contact me and ask me to run and represent them, it was like a very overwhelming and like humbling and grateful. Like I felt very grateful for that because going into my junior year was like kind of when I decided, okay, I'm gonna work hard and do everything I can in order to be better at the sport. Prior to that, I was kind of just like going through the motions and stuff and like enjoying university and the perks of university athletics.
We know.
So that's how it was like before then. And going into the year is when I made the decision to be better. So getting that call at the end of my outdoor season and like coming to the realization that wow, this is actually happening, like I'm gonna represent Puerto Rico. It was just like a great feeling. I always tell this story, so I feel kind of awkward telling it again. But when they called me, like I was contacted by Puerto Rico like during my outdoor season my junior year, and they said like, oh, we might need you to run, like we might want you to run, we know you're Puerto Rican. And I was like, oh great, but didn't like, it was the first time I ever heard about that. I didn't even know that you could run for your country really. So then when I got the call at the end of that year and they asked me to come and represent them, it was like official that I was gonna be running for them, I was like crying. like I remember like I got off the phone and I started crying and like thanking God, because that was like a really tough year for me, just emotionally, and to see that my hard work was like to see the results of my hard work and my dedication was huge. Like
Showing the hard work pays off.
Yeah, exactly. Like I was like, I didn't even know that this could happen, and then like this whole new opportunity opened up for me. So it was great.
Now, speaking of the hard work, was you like highly talented coming out of high school, or was it just like something like that you just worked yourself into? Like, I'm curious.
For me, I always think it was worked into. Leaving high school, I PR'd in 57, but my freshman year of university, I ended the season running in 59. And that's like, they're both like okay times. Like the 57 was good enough to get me a full scholarship to university. So I would feel like it was more worked into. But both my parents were in track and field, and they were really good. So I feel like I have like talent within me. But in high school, actually, we only trained twice a week. So it was like in most high schools, I feel like they train like four times a week. Yeah. So for me, like we only had like practice like twice a week. So I think I just was more developed. But it was definitely a work thing, because when I decided I wanted to be better, like I would do extra runs, I would do abs, I would like eat healthy, be the first one in, last one out. So like after that, for me, I feel like it definitely was the putting in the work aspect.
I hope y'all lit kiddies.
Yeah, that's huge.
Kiddies, did you hear what she just said? She just dropped the gem on you. Don't let it go over your head. It's actually an actual factual. It's an actual factual.
Now, maybe we ask, what made you choose St. John's? Did you have any other offers like out of state, and what made you?
You stayed home. That's crazy.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, for me, I was offered. I think I received like 3 or 4 full scholarships to different universities. Every school that I looked at was semi close to home. I'm the oldest of 4, and like family's huge for me, so I didn't have the biggest desire to go far away. Mm-hmm. But St. John's was actually the first school to offer me a full, so I kind of felt like, you guys want me. So out of the other schools, and no matter where I was going to take the full scholarship. For me, my parents, I have 3 younger sisters, so it wasn't like they have to pay for them for college too. Yeah, it's a lot. So I was like going to go that route no matter what. So out of the schools that offered me, St. John's was the first one. I loved the staff that was there. And I wasn't too far. I didn't really have a preference of being that far. So for me, it wasn't a big deal. Like, yeah.
Now, I also wanted to ask you. You said that you run for the national team. You substitute teacher along with other things. Mm-hmm. May we know what those other things are?
Yeah. So it's a bunch of random stuff. But so one of the main things that I work on, I spend a lot of time on, is me and one of my best friends. We created this fitness blog / Instagram called Fit Curls. So within that, we just started it in October, and pretty much we just provide workouts and inspiration to people that want the free workouts, inspiration. Mm-hmm. So we have weekly workouts, or we have monthly or seasonal ones that we come out with. We try to post at least every other day to the minimum. And yeah, it's kind of just free workouts for people. So everybody should go check it out. Like if you don't know what to do, people don't know, go to the gym, don't know what to do. We have videos. So that's one big thing that I spent a lot of time on.
And you are now tuned in to the Actual Factualz.
I like art a lot and stuff, so with that, I don't really know where I'm going with that. I like to paint. I don't know. That's just a random side thing.
Something Picasso? I don't know.
No, I'm not that good. I'm not really good at it. It's just
Dr. Seuss was considered an artist, right?
No, you're right.
I'm about to say that's my favorite. Don't play me, y'all.
You're right. Like that's a side thing. Something this year that I've been doing a lot of is like different events. Mm-hmm. So me and one of my friends, we had an event called Divisions, which was pretty much about divisions within the Black community. We covered topics such as colorism. What else? Oh man, I'm blanking.
No, wow.
We covered topics of colorism, like men and women in the Black community. The difference between different like cultures, like different Black cultures, and like the divisions between them. So that was like, we had that event in March, and then actually from there I kind of got connected with this organization. It's new and it's based in Maryland, but it's called Black Empowerment Foundation, and I'm working with them to host 3 different events in the summer. Nice. Their main focuses are health, wealth, and elevation. So we're planning a health event right now, and then followed by that we'll do a wealth event and elevation. It's kind of just open to the community. just to kind of spread knowledge and like and develop conversation, allowing spaces for conversation so that we can all kind of grow and learn from each other.
Mm-hmm. So I want to ask you, who are your inspiration, favorite athletes? It was funny how you brought up race, and I wanted to ask you, how was it for you to professionally, for a black woman to strive and understand the presentation that you got to present, and how hard you got to work twice as hard than let's say than your counterparts.
Right.
If we let's just keep it a stat. Black women have to work 10 times harder in the workplace, especially in the image game. Trying to you got to look. They want you to look at whatever they We know all the stereotypes. So I'm asking, what was that like for you, pushing through those stereotypes to and is that important to you to set that example for future women?
Yeah, so definitely. I think for me personally, a lot of that had to do with the way I got through it and the way I kind of went through those stereotypes and like the different life experiences where I have to come to contact with that. Definitely has to do with my parents and the way they raised me. They always tell me how to treat. It's important how you treat other people. Always say hi to people. Make people feel welcome. And so that was a big thing with me in terms of how I carried myself and just being helpful in any ways that I could. And that's from them. And so when it comes to dealing with the stereotypes, I feel like because of that, how I grew up to be, I kind of was allowed to be myself. Obviously, just being aware that I had to work harder and being aware of that you don't know what people are thinking. So I kind of just I just had to kind of carry myself in a certain way. But for me, it wasn't difficult because the way I was raised, it was natural. It came natural because it's at the end of the day, I kind of look at it as every people are people. So if you just treat them the way you would want to be treated, it works itself out pretty much for me. And then when it comes to athletics and academics, academically, I was always just you just stay focused on what you need to stay focused on, do what you got to do. And then when it came to athletics, it was more of, I felt more stereotypes in terms of when it came to being a woman, or more pressure when it came dealing with things as a woman more than color. And I guess, but when you think about it, being a woman of color made it more. But I grew up in Staten Island. And I grew up in a predominantly community with white people. So for me, it was, I don't know, I guess I'm lucky because I grew up amongst white people. I connected them, knew how to talk to them, knew what to do. And then obviously I'm Black and Spanish, so then I know how to still act with them. Flip the switch. So for me, everything was kind of natural. I didn't deal with too much in athletics, though. I feel the stereotypes of being a woman, we have to deal with having masculine bodies, then you still feel the things that girls and women feel. So it's for that it was more, and then I feel athletics itself is more of a man sport. No offense, I don't know if that's offensive or whatever. Yeah, it's more something where they want to see men. So for me, I guess I'm kind of just happy I can do what I'm doing and connect with other people in sports and stuff, and show girls and women that you can go this route if you want. I'm getting to an age where it's are you gonna get married? Where's your boyfriend? You having kids? Things like that are coming up. So I think more when you're older as a woman, it gets a little bit harder. When you're younger, it's kind of oh good, you're being active. Oh, look at your accomplishments. So I feel that challenge comes more post in college and post collegiately. But for me, just staying focused and doing what you want to do is the advice I would give, or how I go about it.
Nice. I hope y'all really listening, guys. She's really speaking a lot of facts, and she's talking from her experience. She's somebody who's been through it, especially for you youngins out there who are looking to strive, looking to go down that professional route, or even just be successful. It takes hard work. None of this happens overnight.
Message that you want to get across to the people that are listening, but also what is your plan? I don't want to say angle. I don't want to use that word. But,
So plan and message?
Yes.
I'll start with plan. So my plans are to, I know you just in that angle, but I really, in terms of when it comes to track and field, I would one of my main goals would be to medal in Olympics or world champs. Definitely.
In the 4, right? Because I'm sorry, guys.
In the 4. Okay, I run the 4 and the 2. The 4 is my main event, but the 200 is I like it. I'm starting to like it, It's a little shorter, but the 4 is my main event. So the 4 is where I would say I would go with. But yeah, so hopefully, so that would be like my top goal. But in terms of close goals coming up with like more recently than that, just to kind of get to represent Puerto Rico in an Olympics. That's like my main goal. Okay. So I'm looking for the Tokyo 2020. So that's like my main goal right now with that. In terms of other goals outside of track and field, kind of just set myself up for a life where I could, be a great mom, be a great mother, and and be able to support my community and be able to help like anybody I come in contact with. I used to like look at money and things as like, oh, I don't need to be rich or anything like that. But then when I think about it, I'm like, I want to help so many people, so I kind of got to set myself up to be in a situation of wealth. So kind of setting myself up to do all of those things, just really be able to help people. And then those are my track and field goals. And then in terms of your other question, which was, what's the message I want to get across? So I just feel like whatever it is, just decide you want, like, notice it and like value it. Like don't think, oh, because it's this or because it's something small that you can't do it. So just notice something in yourself, value it, and then work towards kind of building that. And whatever it is you feel like you might want to do. I think at this point, the way my life has gone, I feel like the main thing that I would want you to know is to trust God and trust like the universe and trust like whatever path you're working towards. Because even if you go off that path, there's always like, if you like have a good heart and like you're working towards something, you'll always end up in a place that's probably going to be better, even better than you expected and even better than what you would have imagined. So to shorten that, I guess, see the value in yourself and what you're doing every day. Work hard towards whatever it is that you love or want to do, and then trusting the universe or trusting God that He'll bring you to that place or to a place even better that you could have imagined.
Nice. So once again, it's the Actual Factuals. Thank you, Miss Pariis.
Thank you,
guys. For coming on. She spent the time with us. She dealt with all the BS today. We're not even going to talk about that. But nonetheless, we still got it done. Shout out to you, Johnny. We appreciate you, good brother, for allowing us to be here. Shout out to the team. Abby, you got something?
Appreciate everybody that's tuning in. Make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel. Make sure you follow Pariis on Instagram.
That's right. We'll get all that information for y'all. Pariis, you want to say one more thing before you go?
I'll just thank you guys for allowing me to be here. That's it, really.
All right, guys. We off this. Don't you touch.